All right, you're welcome to the Pipsoclock weekly market analysis. And this week is going to this analysis is going to be interesting in the sense that one is going to serve as a bridge between September and October. Today is the last day of September the 30th. Is the 30th of September, and then this will now run into October. And interestingly too, we'll be expecting the almighty NFP, the non-farm payroll, which most traders look forward to every first Friday of the month. So these are the things that are going to shape the market this week. So we are going to quickly look at the following instruments: gold, EURUSD, GBPUSD, and of course Bitcoin. So let's begin with gold that is facing us already. So now, if you look at the market structure, now we're going to be considering four aspects or four factors: the market structure, trend, then the key levels, support and resistance, and then we also now make some projections, right? And so we are going to be basing them on these factors. So now we are going to look at gold. As you see, the gold is already plotted on the monthly chart, and on the monthly chart you can see that is already a bullish structure for gold. Gold has been experiencing upward move since 2020. So it's been bullish all along, right? Yes, at some point for a year or two, gold was ranging and then it picked up again. So now the gold recorded an all-time high again last week, hitting 2,687, 85 rather, 85, 2,685 last week. Okay, so where do we expect it? So this is it on the monthly chart. Now, if you now look at what has happened in the last 3 months from July, August, and now September, you see that this is a bullish continuation that we have here. But is this going to continue in October? Is it going to continue in October? Or is it going to take a breather and let the bulls take profits and the bears can also breathe? All right, okay. So let's see what is going to happen now. We are going to look at it now. So let's switch to the weekly time frame. And before we even go there, let's quickly consider the volumes of these 3 months. If you look at the volume for August, you had a 7.171 million. 7,171,335, and for August we had it at 7.9 million. So more volume in August, but then in September is yet to close though. So by the time it closes, so meaning that tomorrow there's a need for us to now do a consideration of the markets in the last 1 month. All right, so tomorrow we're going to do an overview of the markets in the last 1 month, and so that way we are going to come back and drop that information for you. So then we'll be able to conclude on this volume and what that means. All right, though if you look at the candle physically the candle is higher, right? Yes, but in terms of volume, we're going to come back to do that volume analysis by the time the month ends. All right, so that's for gold now. So let's quickly switch to the weekly time frame now. And so on the weekly, gold is also bullish structure wise. Yeah, and based on that, we are bullish, right? Good. And then on the daily time frame, we cited on Friday a bearish reversal here, which is like a hanging man. And then this hanging man that we saw up here, okay, it's more like trying to give a confirmation to this seemingly shooting star that formed up here, okay, but not quite a shooting star, but it's more like it looks like it, and the both of them look alike in any case. So now what we are going to be looking at, considering what happened on Friday. So is today will be a determinant Monday. So for what it holds for the bears in the coming days before the non-farm payroll reports. Yeah, this is before the non-farm payroll reports. So what is it we are going to look at? This is a hanging man, and then by the rule, trading rule for hanging man is that for it to really become a signal for reversal, what happens the day after is important. So, and that is, where does the next day close, or where will the next day close? So where the day today closes is important to us. So perhaps by the time we are doing the roundup for the month tomorrow, we will come back to this to really look at what to expect of gold, all right, before the non-farm payroll report. Because non-farm payroll report this week, this for the month of October, I think is going to really affect a lot of things. It's going to alter a lot of things a bit, right? So uh, we will expect that today closes below the close of Friday. And Friday closed at 2658.07. So if it closes lower than 8, then obviously we should be expecting gold to make its way down, right? Maybe after a pullback, then the bears can now go in and sell. But then the projection, we can come back to that. But before we do that, let's quickly go over to, let's go over here and pick gold and look at the key levels to expect. So based on that, we're just going to be looking at the weekly first. The weekly key level for gold on the 4 hours is at the pivot point is at 2652. 2652, and price has tested that twice today. He has tested that twice today, but then he's still testing it. So today is not over yet, right? So it's important. If he breaks past it, obviously we'll see price, at least for Monday, we'll see price heading towards 2642, 2627. All right, before perhaps it reaches 216, 2611. Then we're going to bring in Fibonacci to actually solve this puzzle. And I would like to impose the Fibonacci on the clean chart so that we can remove it and continue with others. So quickly, let's wrap up gold analysis by bringing in the Fibonacci. And now we're going to do something interesting. We'll run this analysis in 3 phases. That's the Fibonacci analysis in 3 phases. Okay, the first phase will be based on the low, the rise from this week. That's on the week of September 9, right? And also based on the rise from the week of September, that's this week of September, what? That's the 3 weeks ago, September 16. That's the low of the 18th day of September. And now we also now base it on the low of last week. Okay, so the low of 2 weeks ago, the low of last week, and the low of 3 weeks ago. So that's how we're going to base this on, so that it will help us to find, have a good, a more impressive bias. So let's quickly look at that. So let's connect to this high first. Okay, now let's look at the first off, let's go to the week 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago. Okay, so here is it. So this is the low of 3 weeks ago. Okay, so we're going to work with this. So based on this, see where we have the 50% retracement. That's at 2585, 2585.57. And so the question is, do the gold bears, or does bearish gold have the momentum to push price down this week to 2585, right? You bet. So let me know in the comments if you think so. And then let's also go ahead and check at, let's look at, in fact, even 38% retracement is also at 2561. So is it possible? I mean, it's possible, no doubt, but does the market have that push? Does it have that momentum? So let's look at 2 weeks ago, the week before last. So on the week before last, look at it. We have 2616. For me, I think that 2615 rather, 2615 level is more realistic for gold to go and retest. Yeah, because last week, last week, gold tested gold tested 2616. As a matter of fact, it broke past it last 2 weeks and then retested it. It became a strong support for gold last week. So the big question now is, can gold make its way back there to go and retest that support at 26158.81 this week. So let's watch out, because these places I'm pointing out are key areas you need to watch out for. Okay, and then if we now look at what really happened last week, now let's look at the low of last week. The low of last week is here. Okay, that is at 2613. So based on that already, if you base it on the low of last week already for this Fibonacci retracement tool, now you will see that even on Friday, gold had tested the 50% retracement at 2649 and is still struggling around there, right? It's still trying to find the momentum to break that support there. Okay, so now today, this Monday morning, it has also gone to test that place again. This is it. It has pierced through to 2647. Okay, so now the big question is, can gold, or will it be able to break it today, this Monday, or will it, does it need some, gather some momentum, some push from upstairs, meaning that will they push gold up first, perhaps to maybe 2668, or retesting the high of last week before it finds its way down? Well, let's open our minds to what could happen. So these are just the bias I want us to hold it on gold, even as you navigate through it this week. All right. So quickly, let's switch to GBP, to Euro USD rather. Let's switch to Euro USD, and for Euro USD, we'll go back to the monthly. And on the monthly chart for the Euro USD, of course, currently already you have a higher high than than August. Of course, the high of September so far is 1.12139, while in August it was 1.12014. So it already has beaten that. So already we have a bullish scenario here, right? Though, if you consider the overall picture from which year is this? This is 2021. You see that Euro USD has been on its way down. So with what's happening here now, the market is ranging currently, if you look at it from the bigger picture. Okay, but then if you now consider these three, look at the volumes. Let's compare the volume analysis, do the volume analysis here. In July, the volume there was 2.7 million, 2.775, right? And in August, it was higher at 2 point, pick up, come on. It was higher at 3.523. Now in September so far, which we will be concluding by the time the market wraps up today, tomorrow we'll quickly do a review rather, is 3.1 so far. So if you now compare September and August, you will see that the volume in August is more than that of September. Yes, so with that, there is a statement being made. We'll find out by the time the month wraps up, and by the time we're doing the overview tomorrow. Okay, so quickly we switch over to the weekly time frame for Euro USD, and on the weekly, we have a signal here, and that is more like this signal here is quite interesting, sounding decisive, but also looking like a reversal pattern. Okay, in the sense that it may look like a doji, also like a spinning top. So whichever way, uh, buyers should be careful of continuous buying around here for Euro USD. So if anything, my advice at this point is to really be careful. Cap it up here. Yes, cap it up here. In other words, let's here be, let's that top here. So be your, where you can push position for your stop loss, and then start looking for opportunity to sell. Yeah, start looking for opportunity to sell Euro USD. So let's switch to daily time frame. On the daily time frame for Euro USD, the same thing applies here too. The markets, the sellers have been protesting. Once in a while they protest, and that's what's happening here. So the struggle is ongoing, and the resistance here appears to be a bit strong. And if we look at it critically, let's see if we can find any confirmation that will show us. I think we have a triple top there. Yeah, we have a triple top there. And I think that's a point to note. There's a triple top for Euro USD around there. If you look at this, this is 1.2029. 1.2029. Here you have it, 1.2014, 1.2008, 2008, and this is 2029. Okay, so we have some double top and triple top around here, so you need to really pay attention to the statements, what the market is saying around here. So buyers beware. Okay, beware, buyers beware this week. Okay, so quickly on 4 hours, we go over so that we can wrap this up. So on 4 hours for Euro USD. So quickly, let's come here first and consider the weekly pivot point. And the weekly pivot point is stationed at 1.11500, 1.11500, 1.11500. Okay, so watch out for that. So let's now quickly go over and bring in Mr. Fibo. So our Fibo here, we'll run it. Let's see if we can repeat what we did with gold. Let's see if we can repeat what we did with gold. So we connect 2 weeks low, 3 weeks low, from 3 weeks low. Okay, so let's look at that. So if we work with that, of course, 50% replacement should be around 1.11078. Yes, and connect it to the 1.11078. Then for connect it to the low of the week before, and that is somewhere here, and that gives us 50% replacement around 1.11411 here. Okay, and then for last week, the difference is not much though. So you have 1.11485. So somewhere between 1.11411. Okay, let's even connect it from here, from 1.11078. All right, all the way to 1.11483 is important to take note of that. At least when price gets to that point, look out for signals to buy, maybe temporarily, and then we can now begin to adjust to see whether the, the bearish market has set in. Okay, so that's for Euro USD. And for GBP USD, we quickly switch to the monthly for GBP USD, and for that we see a GBP USD that has also recorded a higher high than the previous month. And if we look at that, you can also point out that if we consider the volume too, for July, we had 4.293, and then you have for August, you have 5.833, and then for September so far, you have 5.6. So the same scenario is playing out for the three instruments we have checked so far. So we really need to watch out. Okay, so on the weekly time frame for GBP USD, we have this situation there. There's a neutrality here too, so you have to be careful. In fact, for GBP USD and Euro USD, you have to really be careful about holding on to buy positions. Yes, be very, very careful of holding on to long position for long this week, because what's happening here for me is a setup for a crash. That's what I'm seeing here. Okay, now on the daily time frame for GBP USD, you also have similar protests that happened that we saw on the Euro USD chart. Okay, so but then let's quickly also consider, we have a double top or triple top, because for GBP USD, GBP USD is different from Euro. I think we have a double top there. Yeah, almost triple top. So be careful around there. Careful about holding on to buy position for long this week on GBP USD. Careful, I say. I repeat that, careful. Okay. Then on the 4 hours charts where we can now pick, let's quickly go over here and first of all find the weekly chart. So for the weekly for GBPUSD, we have 1.33498. 1.33498, take note of that. And then we will bring in Mr. Fibo. And based on this, okay, so consider the same thing, right? We did for both gold and Euro USD. So let's look at 3 weeks. Okay, rise from 3 weeks ago up to last week. 50% is at 1.32178. All right, and if we now draw over and move it to check for the low of last week, we have low of 2 weeks ago rather, we have the 50% retracement at 1.13276. And of course, if we consider just last week, it brings it too close. So here you have to, this is short-term trading, you have to be very careful. All right, 1.33411. So if it gets there and you find signal to buy, you may not expect it to come back to this top here. Be careful, right? Good. So let's move over to darling crypto, Bitcoin. Yeah. So for Bitcoin on the monthly, Bitcoin, in fact, is been on a roller coaster in the last couple of weeks. As you can see, even months. Look at that. Look at the chart there. Okay, so Bitcoin has been on a really roller coaster. You can see what has happened, right? So quite volatile, right? So, but then if you look at last month versus this month, already this month, if things close the way they are right now, you think that Bitcoin has done well for the month of September, having recorded a new higher high, and still has a higher low. Yes. Okay. So, but then let's consider the volumes. Volume for this month of September so far is we have 10.1 million, and for the month of August we have 12.6 million, right? So all of them volumes are smaller yet. So, but we have to wait for the month to end before we conclude on volume. Yes, I keep repeating that. So that will be doing around more like a review tomorrow on the 1st of October. Okay, so quickly let's go over to the weekly time frame for Bitcoin, and then we have on the weekly, of course, you have the three moves here. uh, bullish continuation for the last 3 weeks. Okay, and so this week now, what is it? What does it hold? We'll find out. Okay, so we now switch over to the daily time frame. Of course, you know that this market is still ranging, and you know that what we saw here is, I can see a bullish flag still forming. You remember I drew this some weeks back, and we have bullish. I think we can find that. Okay, let's just continue with this. I still see this as a bullish flag, and which we have to really carefully watch. When this will break out of this range, we don't know. Do you get that? So I still see this as a bullish flag, no doubt. So, but then let's keep watching. All right. So now on the daily time frame for Bitcoin, we let me remove this. The market already has beaten it has done everything to engulf the past 2 days. So Bitcoin is on its way down. All right. So how low can it go? So we can actually begin to look at certain support levels around here, around here, and that's around 62, around 62,000, around 62,000, 63,000, yes, around there. So around that, because you have almost like quadruple, like just to give it triple top, triple bottom around there. Okay, so then for the week, for the 4 hours, on 4 hours for Bitcoin, so the market is ranging, no doubt. The market is ranging, but let's see if we repeat what we did for the other three. Let me make this smaller. Yes, so we can just capture it all at once. So look at this from here to the low. In fact, if you look at, let me even see this. Let's see which month, which week was this. Okay, so that was the lowest for the 4 weeks. 4 weeks in view. 4 weeks in view, right? So if you look at that, Bitcoin 50% retracement should be at 59,485. Okay, and if you take it to the low for the 4 weeks ago, considering as 60,000, and then for last week, for 2 weeks ago rather, you'll be looking at 61,925, and for last week, that's no trend. It's not trending. But then if you look at it, it's already at 50% retracement. Okay. So that's 50% retracement. So the next other place it could go to if it breaks past this level will be at 63,931. So you watch out for these three levels, and then make your projections based on the numbers that we've given you. Okay, I hope that this is clear. So we'll be trusting God to help us to do a review of what has happened in the last month, so that can help us to project for what to expect in the month of October. Tomorrow we'll be coming back with that. I trust that we'll be able to cover that. All right, thank you very much for your time, and trade wisely, trade smart, trade cautiously also, and may the pips favor you this week. That's half green pips, I mean. Thank you very much, and from all of us at the Pipsoclock desk here, I want to say a big thank you to you. I appreciate you so much. God bless you.